Hi everyone, let's paint together today this beautiful, so bright mandala, spring meadow, and this is 15 centimeters or 6 inches. So let me know in the comments you want a bigger piece with such beautiful combination, and more tutorials on my Patreon and YouTube channel. As always, on a black base we are placing the marks, and we need to find the center. I'm linking the video if you need some instructions. I will create circles 1 centimeters, and lines I decided to go 15 degrees, not to make it too often because with small surfaces it just sometimes overwhelming and make no sense, and with such small mandala 15 degrees will be right enough. And as you saw, the final result, the color is really beautiful. And I did change my mind a little bit during the painting. And I did create custom color, but you may not need to. So it really depends on you. Really bright colors that you can see in spring on a meadow, and just like so amazing. I'm using this one, for example, white peach instead of white to make it like not too bright, but you may use the white one, for example. Obviously yellow, whatever you find in your collection, purple. So all materials as always in description. You may change some colors, but I'm giving you this just as idea how it looks like. And 3D drops. You see, I got some colors pinkish, lighter, darker a little bit, so I may use both of these. And this is just it's called Cloud 9, but it's light, it's almost white, but not, it's like shiny pearl, maybe that's color. So you may use another material that you got in your collection, and this is just an example. So let's start with first dot. The color is Teaberry, really big one. You can come back a couple of times with the same tool by adding more and more paint on the top to make it more visible and nice looking dot. And you can treat a little bit shape with a thin tool. 1mm tool will be really good enough for this, or this metal one I'm also using. Moving forward, I will create first row of dots with the color is Sour Apple, really nice, bright, exactly combined with all these colors that we are looking at spring. And I'm making these dots not on lines but on the first row of our marks. And first mark circle line, and as close as you can, but not touching each other. You can see on the video. And yes, you can make these dots just small one, and later on come back and add a little bit more paint on the top and create a nice shape. This is just as advice. Yes, moving forward. Next one will be primary yellow, but you can use any yellow that you got in your collection. And a little bit bigger tool, and I'm placing my dots between sour apple ones that we just created. And the same rules, as close as you can but not touching each other. And again, you may make a little bit them like small to be careful, and later on when everything dry out, come back and place more paint on the top, and this way create a nicer shape, make it more pop out from the surface. And this is one of the easiest way how you can do this. And that's all. The second row of dots ready. The next one. Of that, I want to add the brightness, bigger tool, and white peach color. And again, I'm placing my dots between previous dots. Does it make sense? So I'm just moving around this central part, and I'm trying to recreate all these bright heads of flowers that we can see in the spring on Meadow. It's just so amazing. Yes, you can leave space between dots and come back later on and add a little bit more paint on the top and kind of treat a little bit, make the shape of your dots not only bigger but nicer. Like that, really nice and really already bright, as you may say. So next row, really interesting how to move forward. We may play on the next row or just leave some space and come back later on with another color. So 2mm tool, and I'm using my second circle line that I just created and placing my dots on spaces that right exactly between my previous dots. So for now, I'm still not looking at my marks lines. I'm using just circle lines and just looking at previous row of dots I created. Later on, we will use marks, but for now, with these particular sizes and this pattern, it's just kind of working. And the color is a melon. Really beautiful. Technically, I did create the custom color from Melon, but I may say to you, with such brightness, you may not need to. But this is the custom color in case you want to recreate exactly this tone. Just for your information, all in description box. And we'll move forward. Every second line and cross with circle line next, our third circle line from the center, I'm placing bigger dots, and the color is Wild Orchid and really bright. Again, why not purple? I saw this on the Meadow, purple heads also. And so every second line you see on the video, really simple trick. So we are leaving more space between dots so we can make nice dots around, walking around, strokes around, and all of this. So with 1.5mm tool, I'm placing 1 dot on the top, and with 1mm tool, I'm walking around. The color I'm using, this is my first custom color. As I said, I created with Melon, but you just can use Melon, just saying. But look at this combination. It's just like so beautiful. And so gentle and so plain together. I just can't even explain how nice it is. But obviously you can see. So we may place, as I did, 1 bigger dots on the top of this, purple ones, and walk around with smaller tool after that. I will place more details on top when my purple dots dry out, but for now we are playing around. Really beautiful combination. I just believe I need to create more of this. Really nice. Next step. Let's play more around these dots. I'm adding a little bit more paint on this central dot. The big one. And after that, I want to play a little bit more around. So I will use bigger tool, white peach color, and I will walk around, but I will create with this color only 3 dots. You can see this on a video. So I'm placing 1 dot on the top and 2 from both sides. This could happen with your particular custom painting on a next circle line, as you see on the video, but may not. So don't be too judgy to yourself. Just place 1 dot on the top of this melon one we just created and 2 from both sides. You can see this on the video how I did it. Really simple trick how make our pattern a little bit more interesting just with colors and just with simple tools that we are usually using. like that. And after that, I want to walk around with strokes like that. And the color is sour apple. But you may need really small brush for this. Small, it's still 1 centimeter line. 1 centimeter long brush. And let's do this. So really small strokes around like that. Obviously, I'm walking around. I'm not touching, not white peach dots. Trying not to play this on melon dots we created walking around. So you can see, really, I'm not even going too deep. I'm just releasing brush. But this brightness is just amazing. Look at this. It's just this color immediately changing palette and really works together. Look at this. Really beautiful. Like that. Next step, I want to add a little bit more details. And we can play with different colors. I just decided to go with yellow. But you may use this, for example, color that we just use for central dot. It's up to you. I'm doing this a little bit different way this time. First of all, I'm placing 2 dots from both sides of mark line and third one on the top. And this creating a little bit different pattern, so it's like more long one or tall one, like that. You can see this on the video. Obviously, we also did use a little bit bigger tool to create these dots, but again, this kind of also by adding this yellow color, we are playing now combining central part. So remember, when you are using a lot of colors, the color should be in different places. If you're adding color only in one place of your mandala or any painting, this kind of usually it's not harmonizing. Obviously, there are a lot of situations when it's still beautiful, but just in a total. With small brush, and the color is gel green. I'm making strokes like that. So I'm going from my yellow dot in the space between these flowers, but I'm not going even too far. So I'm pressing, releasing brush. I'm pressing, releasing brush. Obviously, I'm trying not to touch not my yellow, not my white peach dots. Yes, a little bit, I'm going a little bit touching my green strokes, but it's like, obviously you will at some point, like that. Look how beautiful it is. It's just amazing. Definitely nature creating so bright and beautiful combinations. Let's move forward. I want to create base for next row of flowers, bigger ones. As the color I want to use the same that we use for our central dot, and the color is Teaberry. And I will place on the space between these flowers and between my last 2 circle lines from the edge. You can see this on the video. And this will be the base for our next row of flowers, like that. Next step, I want to walk around these ones. And again, want to combine colors. So on the top, I'm placing dot with my first custom color. And you may use just color Melon. But if you want to recreate this palette, I'm telling you, it was my first custom color and only one for this painting, because technically we're using so much beautiful colors, you don't need one for such small surface. I did use it because of my idea in my head, but it's totally up to you. And I'm walking around, I decided to go with white peach. Again, this way I want to add brightness. Because when you're looking at spring meadow, it's just so many top of so bright, so beautiful, so different colors of flowers. It's just amazing. That's why I decided to add a little bit of brightness, and with this particular combination also. And as I said, all materials in the description box below this video. And guys, I got a lot of questions about brushes. So it's already existing video in my tips and tools folder, but I believe I need to create one more video to describing what kind of brush you need to use. And with small brush, 1 centimeter long, I will create small strokes around like that. I'm not going too deep, just around this dot. The color is a wild orchid. And just thin, small strokes around. This brush really, like hand off this brush really long, but that's why you can see this on the video. But technically it's just 1 centimeter, maybe even a little bit less, maybe 9 millimeters long brush. And the same way I'm creating yellow strokes around the same brush. It's just exactly size that I do need. So I'm starting technically from the same level with my yellow strokes. Just one moment at the end of my strokes may be placed on a top. You see this in the video. A really nice and beautiful combination. Also purple with yellow, amazing combination. So just with this idea, it's difficult to be wrong, to be honest. I saw so many flowers on Meadow, so it could be really any combination at this point, even blue on the top of all of this. And next strokes I decided to do with the same color that my central dots, Teaberry, but you may do this with Melon, for example, but totally up to you. But definitely it's working, you see. It's really bright and beautiful. We need to leave it dry out and come back later on and add much more details on the top. So when it's everything dry out, I'm putting within the same size tool more paint on these central dots. You see already, yeah, I did it already. That's why for you it looks so bright and popping out from the surface. Over there we got some space. I want to add small dots. You can definitely use sour apple for this. It will be brighter, but I want to add a little bit more this dark green. So I will do this with Java green. And just on the top, between my melon dots. Just small one. It's really bare visible on the video. But obviously this is just example. You can use any combination that you want to. Just saying. I want to just add this nuance of this tone to the palette, to the central part. That's why I did use. On the central one, we can technically add different 3D drops. But I decided to go with Cloud 9 because it's so light and I would now add a little bit lightness. And with Love Potion, I'm adding dots over there at these spots. Small ones, you see. Technically, you can still go with Cloud 9 if you got one. But I just got this beautiful tone of pinkish. If on video it's not even visible, you just see the difference of tones. Within tool, I'm making small tails. You see it on the video. I may add something over there, but later on. On the top of this purple one, you can add 3D drops, but technically you can use your paint to do these nuances. So I'm using Melon, just small dot on the top. Remember, do it when everything dry out. So your result will be kind of predictable. Like that. So let's move forward. The next 3 drops, Heritage Rose Additives. And I'm on the base of these flowers. I'm putting like pretty like 5-6 millimeter dots. You see, I'm using a lot of material. And after that, with thin tool, I'm doing like tails in it towards the space between my green strokes. But I'm trying not to touch those. So I'm going really deep, but I'm trying to not to go on the top of the strokes. Like that. Really beautiful color, I may say to you. Really nice. And now I want to create like leaves for these flowers. The color, I will use Sour Apple again, because it's so bright. And literally working from this space, you see it's a cross between circle line and your just regular line marks, and 2 strokes creating leaves. But you see, strokes really small. I'm pressing and releasing brush, and I'm really careful. If you worry to mess up a little bit with the drops, you just put on surface, wait until it's dry out and come back later on. You don't rush, because technically, yeah, it's easier to mess up with this pattern at this point. But look how beautiful it is. It's so beautiful. It's so bright, unpredictable, like spring meadow, definitely. Like that. Look how beautiful it is. I want to add a little bit, make this first my strokes a little bit bigger to combine with strokes that I just create later on. So to harmonize a little bit my pattern. But definitely go with your inspiration and with your custom painting. So we got some small spots over there. You definitely may go with your inspiration. But I'm just like showing you what I wanna add to this palette. So 2mm tools, and I'm adding 2 dots over there with Sour Apple tone, just to work with this spot. What you can do, you can go with another color, with yellow, for example, or put 2 more dots with 3D drops. So it's really up to you at this point. It just was my inspiration to add more green color. Obviously, we saw a lot of green color on Meadow, and more dots over there. We got some spots, so we can technically. I decided to go with more melon dots over there. I got spot for 2. You may definitely go with 1 or even without. Or also you can go with 3D drops. Again, totally up to you how you can see this. I just decided to go a little bit, to combine colors obviously, and add a little bit more brightness, because again we saw so many different small big flowers in the middle. It's just really amazing how this all can be at the same time blooming. So I decided to go like that. I'm coming back to the small brush. You can technically do just small dots over there, and I'm adding between these strokes. It really actually depends how much space left. If you got enough space for the strokes, do this. I'm adding jewel green tone. So if you don't have enough space, just put maybe 1 dot over there. And you see this separating our colors now. And we got some spots over there. Let's also add Love Potion over there. And you also, on this central part of this big flower, so you also can add Love Potion. But because it's the center, I did use Cloud 9. I decided to add Cloud 9. Small ones. just a little bit, and this make difference. Look how beautiful it is. Really, really bright. I'm so happy with this mandala. So hope you enjoy this painting. Hope you enjoy your painting. Subscribe. Press like button if you like it. Subscribe to my Patreon channel. And see you on next video. Bye.